Time Warner Audiobooks presents Kwanzaa Folktales. Stories adapted by Gordon Lewis. Now here's the king of rap and the word, Chuck D of Public Enemy.
The Kwanzaa celebration has its roots in Africa, but was introduced and adapted for African Americans in 1966 by Dr. Malana Karenga, a black studies professor and activist. The word Kwanzaa is derived from a Swahili phrase, Matunda ya Kwanzaa. It means first fruits of the harvest. Traditionally, harvest festivals were held throughout much of Africa to honor and celebrate the Creator for sustaining and nourishing the community and for providing a generous harvest. The week-long festivities between December 26th and January 1st are built around the Nguzo Saba or 7 principles. Our first tale illustrating unity, or Umoja, is 3 Bullheaded Bulls, read by Raven-Symone.
Once upon a time, back in the land of our ancestors, there was a great herd of water buffalo who grazed on the grasslands that stretched from east to west and north to south as far as the eye could see. They drank cool water from the mighty river that ran from the mountain above to the ocean below. With plenty to eat and to drink, they grew strong and prospered. The buffalo's only natural enemy was the lion, who was feared by every animal in the jungle. Every animal except the buffalo, that is. The buffalo were led by a wise old bull known as Thunderhoof. Thunderhoof was not only large and powerful, he had survived many battles with the lions. He knew their ways so well that it was almost impossible for them to trick him. Whenever the lions would try to attack the herd, Thunderhoof would bellow a warning, and instantly the herd would fall into fighting formation, ready to trample any lion who fell in their path. Even though the lions loved the taste of water buffalo, they seldom dared to attack Thunderhoof's herd. When Thunderhoof was younger, other bulls had tried to challenge his position as top bull, but not one had ever beat him. Now that he was older and earned their respect, no bull would ever think of trying to take his place. But one day, Thunderhoof grew very ill. He knew he would soon join his ancestors, so before he left, he called the herd together one last time. He told them his wife, Eyes Open, would be in charge of the herd after he was gone. Her job would be to train the young bulls until one of them had learned enough to lead the herd. Now Eyes Open was almost as old as Thunderhoof, but she had been by his side for many years, so she knew everything he knew. Everyone in the herd respected her wisdom and experience, so they were happy to see her take Thunderhoof's place. Everyone except 3 bulls. Their names were Longhorn, Broadback, and Redtail. Each one was strong and proud. Each one thought that he or his friend should be the one to take Thunderhoof's place. They all resented taking orders from Eyes Open. "She's too old," said Longhorn. "She's too weak," said Broadback. "She's not even a bull. She's a heifer," said Redtail. But they said only these things to each other. They knew that no one else agreed with them. What Thunderhoof said was the law, and until Eyes Open named a bull to take her place, she would be their leader. When Thunderhoof finally passed away, news spread fast. While the water buffalo mourned, the lions rejoiced. They knew this was their best chance yet to attack the herd, and they planned to take full advantage of it. They sent their best spy, Night Shadow, to scout the herd for their weaknesses and report back to them. True to his name, Night Shadow crept as close to the herd as he could, staying in the shadows, silently watching every move, listening to every word. He watched and listened, night and day, for an entire week. By the time he returned to his lion brothers, he had plenty to report. He told them all about the 3 young bulls and their anger at not being chosen to lead the herd. Then he gave a wicked smile and told them about his wonderful idea he thought of. The other lions loved his plan so much they put it into action. The very next day. What they did was to start spreading foul rumors far and wide about the queen of the water buffalo and the 3 young bulls. Pretty soon, every animal in the forest was talking about all the trouble brewing in the herd. "I hear Eyes Open call Longhorn a fool," said the hyena. "I hear she called Broadback a punk," said the monkey. That's nothing, said Parrot. "I hear she called Redtail nothing but a punk for ticks and fleas. Of course, when Longhorn, Broadback, and Redtail heard all these rumors, they were furious. They stormed up to the queen and demanded that she apologize for her insults and step down and immediately pick one of them to lead the herd. Eyes Open did her best to calm them down and to explain all the rumors they had been hearing were lies. But they didn't listen. They insisted that she step down. Eyes Open knew the 3 young bulls were too inexperienced and hot-headed to lead the herd, so she refused. The next thing you know, Longhorn, Broadback, and Redtail called a meeting of the entire herd and demanded that they all vote for who they wanted as leader. You can imagine their hurt and surprise when the herd voted for Eyes Open. The blow to their pride was almost more than they could stand. That's when the lions started spreading even more rumors. They had Redtail believing that Broadback was talking about him behind his back, and Broadback thought the same about Longhorn, and Longhorn thought the same about Redtail. In no time, the 3 young bulls, who used to be friends, no longer trusted each other. Full of hurt and anger and mistrust, and with no hope of leading the herd, the 3 young bulls decided to separate in search of new herds to lead, each left alone and in a different direction. This, of course, was exactly what the lions wanted them to do. As long as they were together, they were strong, but alone, none of them was a match for a team of lions. When Broadback was attacked, he put up a mighty fight, but there were too many. The lions wore him down. When Longhorn was attacked, he used his powerful horns. 2 lions were injured badly. But Longhorn was overwhelmed and defeated. Fierce Redtail fought longest and hardest of all. With just a little help, he would have won. But he was alone. There was no help to be found, and so he lost. The lions were delirious with joy. With the 3 young bulls gone, the herd was much weaker now. "The water buffalo herd is ours for the taking," said the head lion. "We attack at dawn." And so they did. But Eyes Open was given her name for a good reason. One eye was always open and looking for trouble, even when she was asleep. Nobody could ever take her by surprise, and this time was no different. She saw the lions gathering in the tall grass and behind the thick bushes, inching closer and closer. She saw them creeping forward and ready to leap, rip, and roar. Eyes Open bellowed her warning call. Within seconds, the herd was awake. As Thunderhoof had trained them to do, they quickly fell into battle formation, with the weakest in the center and the strongest guarding their flanks. The lions charged in search of victory. They leaped, they roared, they clawed, and they bit. The buffalo charged and butted and stomped and charged again. The thundering of the buffalo's hoofs was like 100 bass drums beating at once. You've never heard or seen such furious fighting in your life. A huge cloud of dust rose from the ground, swallowing lion and buffalo alike, until no one had any idea who was winning and who was losing. But when the dust finally settled, the lions limped away, scarred and beaten, with their tails between their legs. Though many buffalo had been injured, not one was lost to the lions. If any had doubted the wisdom of Thunderhoof and Eyes Open before, none doubted it now. They had learned that no matter how strong any one of them might be, it was only by fighting with the lions together that they could survive. And as for the 3 reckless, stubborn young bulls, well, now you know where the term bullheaded comes from.